Hi, I'm Gail Sokol, and welcome to my kitchen. And welcome to part 2 of sourdough pizza. Now, when you last saw me, I was about to put this gorgeous lusciousness into the oven at 550 degrees for 5 minutes. And I left it until it got a little bit brown and was par baked. Now, I'm watching some garlic in a little oil here because we're going to be making our own sauce. So I'm going to lower the heat for that. I don't want to get too much color on my garlic, if at all. And we're going to make our own tomato sauce, our own pizza sauce, if you will. And what I've done is I have a 32-ounce can of San Marzano tomatoes. They're a stronger flavored tomato. They're a plum tomato, and I love them. It was like love at first taste when I met these tomatoes. And it really was recently that I met them. So hello, San Marzano. So any brand will do. It's a place in Italy. And I love that place in Italy. Never been, but want to definitely go. You're going to pour them into a bowl, all right? And then with your hands, and you can see they are plum tomatoes, they're long. You're going to just gently squeeze them. Make sure you don't squeeze up at your face, but you're going to just squeeze them a little bit. I don't really like a pureed, smooth pizza sauce. I like a little texture in there. So you're gonna see what I'm doing. I'm just sort of pureeing them by hand. So I could put this all in the food processor. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. And I have taken a few tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, put it under medium heat, put 2 minced garlic cloves in here. I am now going to wash my hand. And you don't want the garlic to get too much color, if at all, like I said before. So make sure you just sort of move it around the oil, and you don't, above anything, you don't want it to burn. Now I'm going to add some spices. So I have a pinch of granulated sugar. I have a ½ teaspoon of garlic powder. I have a teaspoon, a heaping teaspoon of Italian seasoning. And I want to make sure I get this right. I have the granulated sugar is important because it just takes the edge off the acidity, even though these gorgeous tomatoes are not that acidic. And then you can even add a little more garlic powder if you want. So I'm going to put that in there. I'm just going to stir it around. Come on over and take a look at my pot. And you can check because I did not burn my garlic. You'd be very proud of me. All right. And then on low heat, you don't want this too high a heat because you will actually spatter, your tomatoes will spatter into your face. You're going to gently put these in the bowl. All right. And then you're just going to raise the temperature up. And you're just going to move this around a little bit. You really don't have to heat it. You don't have to let it, get overly reduced or anything. And if you don't have any patience, you can just mix this in a bowl and it would be fine. All right, so that's all I'm doing. I really just wanted to get the edge off the garlic by heating it in a little oil and getting those spices in. Oh, I also have a little bit of salt in here, about a ½ teaspoon of kosher salt. You can taste it before, and if you feel like you need a little more salt or just a hint more sugar, that's fine. So I'm going to shut this off. Now, you can see our beautiful pizza, and just to show you how big this pizza is, I'm going to take my measuring stick, and I'm going to show you, this is like a big pizza. Okay, 13-inch pizza, very, very big. You can even make it bigger if you wanted to, but this is par baked. So it's easy now. Remember we put the ball bearings, the cornmeal on the bottom, so it shushed back and forth. So now we're going to top it. So we're going to take our tomato sauce, and I have, if you notice, a slotted spoon. So I don't want to get all that saucy liquidiness on there. So I'm just going to take some of the sauce. Oh, look at those. And those tomatoes have some texture to them. You don't want to over sauce your pizza. So if I have a little extra, I like to save that and put it over pasta. So good. So good. All right, so just put it around. If you like extra sauce, you can put extra on. You can even serve it extra on the side. All right, so I'm just going to put it I know what you're shouting at me. What about the edges? I'm getting the edges. I hear you people. I'm getting the edges. I promise. So I'm going to put those more of those gorgeous San Marzanos. Again, we don't want that to leak over because our oven is 550. It's super hot. All right. All right. Now, toppings. So I'm a traditionalist. I like my mozzarella. And this is known as if you buy it off the block. So it's a little bit of a heavier shred. You know, it's really thick and I like that. So I'm going to add about 2 cups of mozzarella. If you want more or if you want a different type of cheese, you can do it. This is sort of a riff on the margherita with a few extra accoutrements. So I guess it's not a margherita because a margherita is just tomato sauce, basil, and tomatoes. And that you can leave it at that if you want. All right, now some people would say, well, isn't that enough cheese, Chef Gail? Nah, not enough cheese. You need more cheese, more cheese. All right, more cheese. All right, 2 cups. I love Parmesan on it. So I have about 1/3 of a cup of Parmesan. That's just shredded. You can use grated, you can use shredded, you can do it yourself. I just like to sprinkle it everywhere. I love it. All right, so these are my accoutrements. I love black olives, and yes, they are the ones from the can, all right? I just love the way they taste on pizza, okay? So sue me, I can't help it. If you don't like those, you can use calamatas, you can use niçoise, you can use whatever you want. Just whatever you do, take the pit out. And then I have some sliced mushrooms, and I have some bell pepper. So I just like to put it everywhere. And if you have somebody in your family that doesn't like bell pepper, you can do half. You can do 1/4 of a pizza with one type, but everyone in my house likes these. If you wanted to do sausage, I would pre-cook it because it's not going to get a lot of cooking in. Even if you say, wow, it's 550 degrees in that oven. Yes, it's hot, but it's not enough time to cook sausage. So you want to basically cook that ahead of time and then put it on top. Pepperoni's always good, but I love a meatless pizza. Oh, sometimes I put, speaking of meatless, I'm going to go back on what I just said. Sometimes I like to put barbecue sauce on my pizza and a little smoked Gouda shredded, and some chicken. Really good. All right. Now you can see I have some fresh basil here. That's going to go on after it comes out of the oven. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a drizzle of olive oil on this, okay? So just a drizzle, and I have some garlic olive oil, so I'm just going to put a little bit. You can just use, ooh, as much or as little as you like. I got a little, woo, crazy with the olive oil, all right? And I'm not going to put my finger on it because I do want a little bit more than a little drizzle. There we go. And this will help browning, all right? And then I drizzled too much, so I got to wash the hands. I wash my hands a lot. Now I'm going to slide it gently in that 550-degree oven. And this time it's going to be anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, depending on your oven. And I have to open the oven because this thing weighs like 25 pounds. So, oh my goodness, follow me to the oven. Oh boy, right on my peel. And I'm just going to shove it off. Oh, look at that! Are you looking in this oven? Look in this oven. Look in this oven. Is that gorgeousness? Oh yeah. 550 for about 5 to 10 minutes. And in the meantime, let me put my timer on because I want to make sure. I'm going to put 5 on. What we're going to do is we're going to chop some fresh basil. And I'm going to show you how to chiffonade. Many of you know how to do this. Some people might not. So I have my little tiny cutting board. And fresh basil, if you want to keep it nice and fresh in your fridge, you can put ice cold water in a cup, and I just leave it the way it comes. I don't buy it in the plant. And then I've washed it. This is organic basil, and you just want to take it off the stem. Some people leave this on, and you can if you want to. They're tender stems. But if you want to take some off, and take as much or as little as you want, And if you notice what I'm doing is I'm laying one on top of the other. All right, one basil leaf on top of the other. Well, here's a big sucker. Look at that one. Oh, I just love a lovely drink. Anyway, so it almost looks like something to hide with, right? It's so crazy, and that's a big one too. So I'm going to put that one on the bottom, and then so you pile them one on top of the other. And let's do a few more. A few more. You can put your baby ones on top, your little ones on top. Okay? And as you can smell them, they smell delicious. But as you cut them, you're going to actually notice that scent. That beautiful, beautiful scent. So I'm going to roll them. Are you watching this? So you got basil, 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 basil. All right? And then you're rolling them. Roll them like you're rolling a towel to go to the beach. And then you're going to take your chef's knife and you're going to choke up on it real tight. And you're going to tuck your fingers in on the other hand, all right? And sometimes I put one finger in front, and then what I like to do is just do a seesaw. Like when you were a kid, you went and did the seesaw. Just seesaw, seesaw, Marjorie Daw. What is it? Johnny shall have a new master. I haven't sung that in a long time. Good thing, right? And you see the little tiny slivers? Beautiful, right? Look at this. Look at those beautiful slivers. All right, beautiful. Oh, beautiful. And you're gonna sprinkle those over your pizza as it comes out of the oven. It's going to be spectacular. And then if you want, you can even take an additional amount of olive oil and just put it on top. Now some people actually like to put salad on top of their pizza. And you could do that with that. So I would leave the cheese off. I would leave the mushrooms and the bell pepper off. And I would just put a drizzle of olive oil, maybe salt and freshly ground pepper, like coarse ground pepper, over the top of that pizza dough, that par baked. Put it back in the oven for a little while, and then you could pile it with a beautiful salad like mesclun or arugula that's dressed with like a mustard vinaigrette or something really fun like a basil vinaigrette, and just sprinkle it all around and then cut it into wedges. That would be delicious. The other thing you can do, sort of a la Wolfgang Puck, you could take smoked salmon on top of whipped cream cheese after it's cooled down, after it's baked. And then put layers of smoked salmon on there and a little caviar or capers and red onion that's chopped. So, so good. So many different things that you can do with pizza. And if you wanted, you can take your sourdough starter and make even from the dregs, so to speak, the leftovers, and make some pancakes, another day. So there's so many different things you can do with sourdough, but this is one of my favorites. This sourdough puffs up beautifully. Now, I want to show you. Let's take a look in the oven real quick and see where we're at. We have like less than a minute to go. Let's see. Oh, are you watching? Look at the cheese melting. Now, I'm going to give it like another minute, but it is a spectacular thing. And you don't want to just take it and serve it on the peel. So let me go get a pizza pan, or if you have a large platter, that's what you would serve it on. I don't have a large platter, so I need a pizza pan. So I'm going to get my big pizza pan, and I'm going to get my peel ready, and I'm going to take it out and show you, and then we're going to sprinkle it with our gorgeous basil. 17, 16, 15. This is a countdown, folks, for our pizza to come out, and you want to eat it right away. I love that first bite of that chewy, ooey, gooey pizza. Remember, it's par baked, so it's going to be beautifully brown on the bottom, and the cornmeal gives it a little bit of a crunch. Here we go. Woo! You hear it? There we go. So get it off your peel. Sort of shush it off. Oh, it's so big. It's so big. And I'm going to put it right. Woo! That is massive. All right. And now I'm going to shut my oven. And then I've got to sprinkle my basil over. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Isn't that beautiful? Look at all those colors. Like the Italian flag. Oh, So good. I got more basil. You can even shred the basil. You don't even have to chiffonade it. You can do whatever you want. Now that says dinner, right? So I've had so much fun making this with you. So make stuff with your sourdough starter. Make pizza. Make pancakes. See you later. Bye-bye.